got event number 7 here with Rangor.
You said it was a great
My name's Aidan, I'm the popcorn guy, and Rang, congratulations on making it to the grand final of our last event.
Thanks.
I think it's worth noting here that you had to mult 5.
I did. When you're facing down such a good player and such a strong deck, you can't keep a risky hand.
Yeah, I was watching you play throughout the day, man, you get off fast.
You've got to. You're sitting on, my deck particularly has 9 1-drops, and you need to be seeing not going to put enough pressure on.
No, you have to play this out with your
Okay,
head
so
on.
9 1-drops, what's your curve like?
It caps out at 4, but mainly because of your pods, you can jump into your 6 5-drop that doesn't really count.
Right, so we're looking at what you affectionately call Delver Pod.
I did register Delver Pod.
With how many Delver secrets?
There was 0 Delver secrets on my list.
I lose life.
What's interesting about this particular game state at the moment is I come out early with the diagram tool, and Jack, being a good player, knows how important it is to kill that diagram.
Right.
So he blew his first removal as quick as he could to take it out. That little fella will do 10 points of damage on his own before you.
What that look mean?
And here we come down with the messenger.
Maybe.
Man, I saw that card work so well for you today.
Messenger is one of the reasons I played the game.
Oh yeah, I drew 5. So
On top of that, you'll notice I did mold a 5, and each card that I'm playing is being answered by Jack at this stage.
Yep.
Now, Jack and Pat Kim are one of the few people at the moment playing a control-based deck. Most people are sticking aggro, and these two guys have got it down patted. They know what they
Very
need.
good. Yeah, they're very good control.
You'll notice as we talk, each play. This is really relevant. This one's for Juzza, as you notice. There you go, Juzza. Yeah. Juzza believes that every time you cast the Manic Vandal in my deck, you try and kill your birthing pod. And I explained to him that that's not how it happens. And this just goes to prove a point. What I was saying is you'll notice that Jack is answering every card. And their deck is so well tuned to handle the metagame.
You touche. Oh, that's harsh.
You guys are playing at a good pace too.
Yeah,
No mucking around.
Yeah, we both know what's at stake, and there was a bit of banter going on, a bit of back and forth talk.
Get a 4-draw?
And you played against Jack one of the qualifying rounds before the grand final.
I did. The last match of the day
Was
was me and Jack. Yeah, I offered up the ID, and Luxac Louis decided it was better for us to be bashing. I beat Jack the first match, and then said I'll give you one more chance to take the ID, and he decided it was. When this happened, I was devastated. Jack copies my Manic Vandal and kills my birthing pod. I guess that's payback on Juzza's bar.
Called Karma. Goes around, comes around.
Those images are incredible. One of the reasons the zombie decks work so well is the Phyrexia and Minimal.
Yep.
Now the image allows Jack to do the same thing if I have an undying creature, he can copy it, copy something on the way back, he can reborn off his type. Gives him a huge advantage. At the moment I've missed land continuously every turn, which means I've drawn nothing but kills. I'm sitting on Falcon Wrath Aristocrat and Zealous Conscript at this stage. So
Unable to cast both.
yeah, unable to cast both. But if I stop drawing gas and draw land, I start to cast the gas that's in my hand. So I'm in a fine spot. I can't get a bad deck at this.
And look at this. This is typical of Jack. He really, when he crosses his arms like this, sits back. He really has fun.
So Jack's, there we go. Here, Forbidden Alchemist to find some more answers. He's holding dodge, but he really doesn't want to be repairing my message. It'd be much better if he resolved it.
Yeah, Terminus is the perfect answer.
Yep, it is. Terminus really hurt. Or Gideon is pretty good at that stage. If he resolves a Gideon, I have to fight a war to kill him and Gideon, which is quite.
So Gideon acts as a damage soak.
Yeah, yep. And because Jack has lingering souls in his deck, keep Gideon alive. So I have to continuously try and kill. Most of the time I just play it, but this makes the second player, which is really important. Here he's resolved the Sun type, which means he starts to get going. He can get a Sun type and copy.
Is it on dice? No, I don't. When you grab the
What action would you like to take, sir?
Yeah, straight down the Gideon.
Because it's relevant on having a
I'm
done.
not saying I'm a good control player, but I think if I played Gideon in the six, I'd fall for bridges to attack Gideon.
There's two lines of thinking. He
How's this?
forced me to
I need
attack
another one.
Gideon, and then
I might anyway.
basically fog the deck. Or he can kill off the dog. Gideon still gets 2 lift, and he still doesn't.
Team,
Can you shut them up? Shut them up.
There you go. Proves that I'm not a good control player.
Sorry?
If Jack Ding thinks to go to the other way, then it's probably the right way. Tell you what, Jack has really come out of his shell a bit during this
Nick
pop-up.
kill stuff.
When he started, he was very quiet.
Yeah, immediately at the beginning of this game. There's quite a lot of people. Both want this win. Okay? You know, I said straight at Jack. You leave Gideon alone.
Copy messenger.
And myself. 2 on Jack. 2 more, please.
So, I think hasn't the game state sort of, or the purpose of the game changed? More focused.
Yeah, I do need to kill Gideon, but at that particular moment, I know I've got the medal. And if I can put Jack to 5, I put him in range of the Brimstone Volley. So I can kill a lingering soul token later on when which he's going to inevitably, and kill him with a Brimstone Volley. So I wanted to put him on 5 before I started my mission.
You've also effectively nullified his Day of Judgments too.
Yeah, if he resolves Day of Judgment.
And then it's supposed attack turn. I'll obviously go to Gideon still.
Yeah, puts him, and also then a miracle bonfire off the top. He really needs to.
Flashing back. Yeah.
He's digging for answers. And lingering souls and image. Takes the image.
To flashback. So,
This is what I mentioned just earlier. It was inevitable that he was going to have lingering souls at some stage because he's digging through his deck so quickly. He pitched him in the graveyard. Now he gets to go up
To take Gideon.
without getting taken.
so that little dice in the black circle there that represents 2
Gideon's
tokens.
on.
It is.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping for a bonfire right then.
Jerk.
Notice the subtle pause to let Jack think it may have been a bonfire.
So what's he thinking about here? He's tapped out. He obviously should be blocking. Or is he scared that you've got Brimstone?
He might. He may have been thinking at the time. He knows it. But I mean, at that point, he's on fire. He can't really keep playing around. Otherwise, he's going to die eventually. This was particularly intense. While we watch Jack think, I'll draw attention to those 2 fantastic playmats there. They're courtesy of James McKay, the Games Lab guys down in Melbourne,
Yep.
with mine having artwork by Dark.
Nice. So they come up well under the lights too.
Yeah, they're fantastic. So when it's got to this point, it's quite intense. This match is almost over for Jack, and he really has to make the right move.
But he's got image in hand and dodge. I don't see that dodge is relevant. What did he do out of his graveyard? Great.
don't think the graveyard is real relevant at the moment. Notice those two cards in my hand became a bit of a joke. Each turn, Jack would ask how many cards in my hand. And I would say the same two as I sat from the beginning, opening 5 with a 4-drop and 5. Images my messages.
So there's 2.
Giddy.
Do it.
You remember what it was?
Oh, I don't. I was just hoping I would draw an answer, like something to get past, but Gideon whittles away. No, for bit no. Dictionary. Actually, I had dinner with Jack the night before this a bit. Primal
Oh, that's right,
Commandos had
in camp.
a dinner with, we had a bit of a laugh. I told them all I was taking it out, and Jack told me he wasn't going to let me through, so this was a real critical ego trip for both of us. Very fun
I
fun
can
on
hear them.
themselves.
You might not be able to, but I can hear them.
Yeah, I can hear Gary.
Players, silent, be silent.
Christine tells me.
Thank you. Players can hear
That-
through the screen that's affecting their players.
It possibly is. Man.
Yeah, there we go. That's got to be good with Gideon, surely.
This is extremely relevant. The talismans these guys are running, just if they get them early, they extremely hurt the zombie. Very hard to get. Great.
Copy.
And copy again, getting a +1 count. Fingering those up to 6.
Touchback songs.
James, go.
What's going through your mind now? Ah. That's what's going through your mind.
Yeah, right now is Brimstone away them 2 little pests.
Yeah, 2. What's getting on?
They're
Bonfire, I think.
Bomb stuff, yeah, bomb.
2 of you.
Life of Jack. Let's have Gideon. Gideon dead. Now I remember after I killed Gideon, finally, you're next.
Yep, yep.
The Planeswalkers in the Soul Fleet is great. Like they put so much, they take away so much.
No.
Back Forbidden Alchemy. He can't actually play an Elegy, because if he does, he'll take more damage, and the Brexit Metamorph will play the Elegy when it comes back.
Yeah, dead weight.
Back.
So, are we seeing a really good example here of how to play a control deck? You think?
We are. Look, Jack's playing it really well, and this control deck is so smoothly built to find out the aggro decks.
Well, I thought the way he played those first 2 Livian rings was perfect.
Yep. And even the go for the first. He took out my early threats, and then if he wasn't fighting a zombie opponent, he could have started resolving problems. Because I'm zombies, that made it quite difficult. As you said, the life totals are reasonably close.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Finally,
There we go.
I say, have my aristocrat. Has to do. Whichever messenger gets blocked, sack the aristocrat. 2 damage.
I will get there.
With the unblocked other creature and
Maybe. Block one each.
I'll sack.
the aristocrat.
Okay. Okay. Contact as.
2 down.
Yeah, go.
And that's game. You're up. Right.
One last shot.
All right, so into the second game.
Yep.
Jack flies out of the door with a ponder.
So do you remember very much about what you sideboarded here, Rick?
I know I brought in extra brimstone volume to go over the top.
Must have great call.
All during the day, I kept changing my strategy versus
It's not called grapple or anything.
commando to try and sort of get an edge because they know what I normally do.
And by saying commandos, you mean the team that Jack's.
Yeah, there's a big rivalry between us and them. Like, they were the best team last time when we flooded the ranks with 1 million players, and this time we want to show that we can play as well.
Yeah, well, you guys are off to a good start now. For those people watching at home unaware, Rangor is the captain of Team Awesome Fire in Australia.
Yeah,
They mute all this when they do the commentating, so it doesn't matter.
Chapters all around the country.
Yeah, we have a blast. Every major event, getting drunk, partying it up, sharing tech.
You bad boys of Magic, yeah. So you're off to your signature move there, aren't you?
I am.
Standard opening.
It's Jack's favourite thing. Apparently, my signature move is turn 1 Gravecrawler, turn 2
Why
Blooder.
don't you forget to attack once?
But unfortunately, that didn't happen. Instead, he gets another 2 drop. Now, this is the thing with the zombie pod deck. You fly out the gate so quick.
I was just going to say, it's amazing fast.
Now that talisman makes things difficult, but it still doesn't stop. So you come beating out the gate as quick as you can, you get them down, you do 10, 12 damage, and you finish them off with a fight aristocrat.
Right, okay.
Now that's the most common way to win. The current zombie decks that are doing well in the States don't run the pot, which I think they're doing fine and winning, but I wouldn't cut my pots.
I've seen you put the pods to good use. Certainly abusing Phyrexian Metamorph, copying things, bringing it back.
There's so many lines of play that you don't realise until you play the deck through and through. I've been on this since my success at the World Cup qualifiers.
Yep.
And I haven't dropped the deck. I've stuck to it online, and it's winning me tickets and doing me great.
Because of course you use the Phyrexian Metamorph to copy the birthing pod as well. Right?
Yeah, you can. If you decide that that's a line of play you'll need to take, especially versus worm coils and things like that,
Yeah.
you want to have extra birthing.
Now, look at this mode of play that Jack has entered into here. This is, for new players in the game, we often suggest you don't do this. You don't tap your mana and then sit here and think, because you're basically telling your opponent, oh, I've got more than one 5-drop, potentially.
Now, when this happened, I sat back and I thought, okay, Jack's trying to work out Gideon or Tamio on this. And I'm like, that's interesting knowledge for me to know that he has both. Because if I fear one more than the other, then I won't overcommit to kill him.
Right.
Now, knowing that he has Gideon, I may not choose to Brimstone volley Tamio out of the way next turn. That would be the only way I could. Now, he chooses to lock the land, which stops me from Falcon Wrath Aristocrat, which would have been a way to kill him. But knowing that he's got Gideon, if I had Brimstone Volley right now, I wouldn't blow it on Tamio.
Yeah.
When does she go big?
As we can see, watching, you can see he does have Gideon.
Yeah.
But I knew that right as soon as he walked. Into Tamio and put her low.
So you think it's the right call to not tap your mana? For
Yeah,
such a long
he
time?
really needed to. He could sit and pause before tapping the mana to work that forward out.
So at this point, it looks like you're all over him.
Gideon makes it difficult. But yeah, I come flying out the gate, but Gideon puts the brakes and can hold the game up 5 or 6 turns, which give the control deck those legs to find Terminus or Sun Titan Army or whatever it is he chooses to need.
We certainly saw that in game 1.
Now, he's chosen to lock the birthing pod now.
So what's getting
And then
That is point solvers. Yeah, I don't remember what they do though.
play a land.
On 2, Gideon's on 8.
On 5 for 2. Now this allows me to knock Tamio out, which is really relevant. Him having 2 planeswalkers, I wouldn't have been able to beat if I couldn't take it out then.
And you redirected damage from Jack to Gideon.
Yeah.
You? 3. Epic.
Now Jack's in a fine spot. I look like I'm in total control. He has his digging. He can cast Forbidden Alchemy. Has it done. This lets him set up whatever he wants to. He's got the worm pipe. Now that makes the match go long and hard for me. Lingering Souls. The use of Lingering Souls in his control decks isn't pressure on him, or just that slow back the break to keep him until he can take total control. Lingering Souls. That makes 4 tokens.
Yeah,
Some
twice
planes.
as good. Doesn't it?
No. Might have to activate Gideon.
Ah, I thought you were going to this.
Now he needs to assess now what he wants to do with Gideon. He can force the attack or kill off the blood armies, depending on whether he picks up my combo.
Tight spot. Yeah. Important to get it right here.
Yeah, it can be very relevant. He's chosen to kill the blood artist. More safe.
So Gideon is on 2.
Now at this stage I can sack and go and get either a blood artist, a butcher ghoul, or the crypt ring.
Okay.
My 3 2-drops that are in my deck. Now, when I sideboarded, I took one of the blood artists out, so there's only one left in there. The other one's in the side. So I need the crypt to take out the certain creatures in the graveyard. Get in first and let tokens die.
So he uses these 2 tokens.
Yep. Recast the Grave Crawl. 2 main reasons for this deck being so good at the Grave Crawl and Messenger. With the pot interactions as well, normally you're potting creatures away, you lose them for good, but with the Grave Crawler you just sort of get that army of 2-drop. This is an interesting play. A lot of people tend to go for the blood artists.
Right, yeah, I remember there was a lot of discussion in the crowd when you made this selection of the Butcher Ghoul.
Yep. The thing is, if you go for the blood artist and then you recast the Grave Crawler, you then have to go for another 2-drop next turn. But if you go for the, I'll mention I haven't copied the Birthing Pod yet, but if you go for the Butcher Ghoul, and then I've copied the Birthing Pod, next turn I can get 2 3-drops, or I can get a 3 and a 4-drop in the same turn, which is extremely relevant.
Right, so here you've sacrificed the Butcher Ghoul
Yep,
to the Birthing Pod to go against
a messenger.
Messenger.
Now this lets the damage start and the ability to get fucking around with aristocrat come out. Now that thing is extremely important. You want having the two together. I can now get the blood artist and the aristocrat in the same turn and combo.
So, and that's what's going through your mind now. That's the game plan.
Yeah. I know that Jack's probably got a big fat creature, and because he dumped the Sun Tide, I'm assuming he's going to play that. Worm, big life game.
Yeah.
Yep. Now with that, I will need to assemble a way to sack my dude so he doesn't get out of control of life. And there it is.
Yep.
Now he can force the attack. He can also cast Lingering Souls to help him get alive. He becomes at risk.
Suddenly the game swings back his way by the looks of it.
Yeah, and you'll notice I'm recklessly charging with the birthing. That's another thing a lot of players don't tend to do. Against Jack, he's not going to kill me with little incremental bits of damage. So it's okay to blow 10 of my own life on my birthing pots. If you're playing a mirror or an aggressive deck, you can't afford to treat your birthing pot like that. You couldn't have copied it, you couldn't have blown it.
Right. So you figure that when Jack hits you, it's going to be a big hit.
Yeah, it'll be a big hit.
Okay.
He'll kill me in 2 hits. Most of the time. A lot of the time he can afford that Sun Titan army, and so he'll just basically win.
Yeah, I notice you using your life total almost recklessly during the day.
Yeah, you really need to be all in with this deck. Like, as you notice, there goes one birthing pod, 3 drop down, heading for the 4.
The aristocrat.
Aristocrat. I did get a Metamorph, but I'm pretty sure I got the Aristocrat. It's 2 uses this time. So. You'll notice before I do anything, I check my sideboard. This is just to make sure that I know exactly how many 2 drops and 3 drops are left in order.
And this is legal?
Yes, yep. At any stage, you can check your sideboard.
Right.
If you mind slaver your opponent, you can actually check their side. So I've chosen to get the Aristocrat.
The only reason I raised the question, is it legal, is because a lot of new players watching this game may not understand.
Yeah, that's a good point. Some people don't understand you can check your sideboard whenever you want. Just always make sure you put your hand or deck or anything else down before you pick it up. Okay. So as you see,
Your
like I
double
mentioned
birthing
before,
pod.
double birthing pod. Metamorph and clone my butcher good.
Hey.
I hear the tone in your voice. A lot of players don't understand that either. I need to keep undying on the board.
So that you can capitalise on your birthing pod,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
Okay.
Now I recast my Ghoul, sack him to my Aristocrat, and then recast him again. That gives my Aristocrat instrument hit. So he can't die to the 1/1 token. He has to.
What's your call? What's Gideon?
They all have to attack Gideon.
Oh, they all have to take.
Oh, these two can't attack.
Now the thing with Undying is I couldn't keep the Messenger as a blocker next to me because I can't block its tap. So I had to copy Butcher Ghoul, and if Jack chose to swing with the Worm Coil, I could block and sack the Aristocrat to stop the damage. As you'll see here, I've attacked with everything that has to. After Jack assigns blocks, I sacrifice whatever the Worm Coil blocks so that he doesn't gain that block.
Yeah.
This is why the activations of the pod before combat are necessary.
What does that say?
Worm.
Why is it a worm?
Now, it's key to note that a lot of players don't realise the other Blood Artist isn't in my deck. There's only one. Now, I know this, which means I can't recklessly go and get it into an open Celestial Purge from Jack, because he can just break my combo. So I need to wait till he gives me the all clear that he doesn't have something. Jack's a very thoughtful player.
I was just going to say that.
He thinks through all his actions before he commits them.
One thing I have noticed about Jack is he's really good at computing all the different options.
And in this matchup, it's pretty important.
Two cards, one card. Just one card.
And it was so intense playing this match. It was just such a rush. It was probably one of the most intense games I've played in a long time. So,
I know there was quite a crowd watching it on the big screen. For those of you watching at home, we broadcast these matches on a big screen, and most of the crowd sit around and, with a beer or two and commentate on it. I think the judge had to have words with them this time, didn't they?
the judge had to quiet them down because we could hear them on the other side of the screen. So now I'm sitting there, and at this stage I'm thinking, I wish I could combo off, but Jack has the chance of having a Sally Perch in his hand. And the way he's thinking, I'm considering that he has the Sally Perch and he doesn't want to cast it off because of it. Which means that I definitely cannot go for my combo next.
Okay, so he taps out.
Goes for Lingering Souls, giving me the all clear.
So you got one card in hand at this point?
Yeah. The old hoping for miracle.
Yeah, I notice you do that on every single draw. Do you want to tell the players why?
I do. It's really good for new players to notice that as well. I think if you only start to do it when it's relevant that you can cast it, you're letting your opponent know that you didn't have it early or you did have it early. By checking every card, even your initial draw on turn one, your opponent can never know when you get it when you don't.
Right. Just always assume miracle.
Yeah, you don't want them to know you drew one and didn't cast it.
How many souls you got now? 3.
What are you working out here? Are you working out birthing pod options?
Yeah, this is kill on board basically, but it's extremely complicated. And I've got to basically go through it all in my head without any assistance to try and work out if I'm right. If I screw it up, I can possibly go down the plug. Because I have to activate the birthing pod so hard, I put myself in range of Jack being able to get there.
So this is certainly a critical point in the game. I know a moment ago you said death on board. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, for me, nobody else would have even realised. Well, a lot of players wouldn't notice.
Well, I certainly can't see it. I mean, he's on 15. He's got a worm coil on the deck, and Gideon, come on.
Yeah, okay, look, there's a lot to it, and it takes a lot. And in my own head, honestly, I was sitting, what takes the pauses is I'm thinking to myself, is he on 1 or is he dead? So I had to keep doing the math over and over and over in my own head, and it took me a good couple of minutes.
Well, for those players at home who are looking to play a zombie pod deck, I'd recommend you listen to Rangor now as he talks us through this whole series of plays.
So you potted for the last remaining Blood Artist. So now any creature that dies, Jack takes 1 and I gain 1. So you bring back your Gravecrawler. And this is where I had to do the critical math. I'm sitting here thinking over and over and over, what do I get Jack to? Now, the thing is, he doesn't need to block with the Lingering Souls token, so I can't count them in the math. Now, what a lot of people miss is you can sacrifice the earlier copied Butcher Ghoul, that is actually that Phyrexian metamorph there,
Okay.
to bring it back as a clone of anything on the board. So you can bring that back as a Blood Artist whenever you need to. Having that means that any creature that dies is 2 damage to Jack and 2 life to me. So I can then cannonball him, in a sense, by sacking my Gravecrawler to my Falconwrath Aristocrat and then recasting it. Now you'll notice I've just cast to put a land from my hand and begin counting.
That's right, yeah.
I need to know exactly what's going on here, and I need to be clear to Jack because one missed trigger can keep him in the game. So I sacrifice my Metamorph, trigger my Blood Artist. Jack takes one, I gain one.
Yep.
Comes back, and I'll copy my Blood Artist. Gets a 1/1 counter. Sack my Gravecrawler again. This time Jack takes 2.
Like this.
I gain 2.
So we're going to turn those two.
Recast.
Yep.
Resack.
So this is rinse and repeat.
It is, it is. And we've been calling this machine gun tech. You get that feeling of being at the top of a paddock with a gun just mowing down your opponent as your life comes back up.
Well, right now, Jack's sort of looking at you like a donkey eating a waffle. Because you're going through your combo.
He did. I kept counting it and doing it, and I'm thinking, what is Jack missing? I'm like, does it... And I think it's by this point I say, Jack, I'm not going to miss this trigger. Recast?
And
And there's the shade. Well done, Jack. Thanks for a great game.
Yeah, he's a good sport. Oh, look, thank you, Rang. It was a pleasure listening to your commentary on your win there.
My very modest win.
Thank you, Mr. Lee.
And see you this weekend in Canberra at the Super Duel number 2.
I'll be down there to double it up.
Awesome stuff.
Out of order sequencing.
Oh, you haven't got it. What's out of order?
Common shortcuts from PSS.
Yeah.
Can I please have the awesome dice back? Thank you.